friends, as we all know that there exist three workflow rule criteria. Number 1 created, number 2 created and every time it's edited, number 3 created and every time it's edited to subsequently meet the criteria. So, in this video, we are going to understand the difference between these three, which is again one of the favorite questions of the interviewer, especially for approximately more than 2 years experience candidate. So, let us start from the basics. Workflow rules are basically a business logic engine that automates certain action based on a particular criteria. Workflow rule basically consists of two components: criteria and action. Criteria basically consists of conditions which, when becomes true, a particular action is performed, and when false, record gets saved without any action. And action is the ultimate result. When the criteria meets the rule, action is performed. Now let's deeply understand the difference in this criteria along with the example. Criteria 1 is created. Now, according to this criteria, initially when the record is created, the criteria will be evaluated, and if rule meets the condition, the respective action will be performed. In this criteria, the rule runs only once. That means if the record is updated and it is again satisfying the rule, the criteria will not be evaluated. Let's understand this deeply with the help of scenario. Let's say that there is a rule that if student's strength is less than 50% in a classroom, an email should be automatically triggered to the school supervisor notifying the student's attendance. Now, according to this criteria, first time when the record is created with strength equal to 75%, no rule will be executed. But if first time when the record is created with strength equal to 47%, then rule will be executed. Now, if the record is edited to strength equal to 50% or let's say 51%, then will the rule execute? No, as according to this criteria, rule will be evaluated only once, that too at the time of record creation. Now let's move on to the criteria 2. Criteria 2 is created and every time it's edited. Here, remember the two important points. Number 1, every time whenever the record is created and edited, the criteria will be evaluated, and if the rule meets the condition, the respective action is performed. Point number 2, in this criteria, the rule runs repeatedly every time as long as the rule criteria is met. Now let's consider the scenario. Student strength is less than 50% in a classroom, so the email will be sent to the supervisor. Okay, this is the similar example that we have considered in the last criteria. So in this case, now the record has been set to strength equal to 50%. So first time when the record is created with strength equal to 40%, rule will be executed. Second time when the record is edited and strength has been set to 45%, rule will be again executed. Now if another field is updated, let's say subject, rule will get executed and email will be sent. So this is the drawback which is overcome by the third rule. Criteria number 3. So the drawback of the criteria number 2 will be overcome by criteria number 3. Criteria 3 is created and every time it's edited to subsequently meet the criteria. There are few points to be considered. Number 1, this criteria is by default enabled. Whenever the record is created, the rule will run. Whenever the record which was not meeting the criteria earlier is updated, the rule will again run. If other field is updated, rule will not run. Now let's again consider the scenario. Now the record of the student strength has been set equal to 30%. If the strength is equal to 30%, email will be sent to the supervisor. Now, the record of strength has been edited, and now it's sent now it has been set to 40%, 42%. So, rule will be executed. If another field, for instance, subject is updated, rule will not run and email will not send, because uh, another field, that is subject, has been updated, keeping the strength as it is. So in this case, the rule will not run and email will not be sent. So in this way, the drawback of the previous criteria has been overcome by this rule, by this criteria. Now, let's have a quick overlook on the action part of the workflow rules. So, there are two types of actions: immediate actions and time triggered actions. Immediate actions are the actions that gets executed immediately when the record is created or edited, whereas time triggered actions are the actions which execute after certain time duration, maybe after 1 hour or 1 week or 1 month. Like we get the reminder mail to pay our credit card bill or monthly EMIs, like that. So now we'll take a look over few points related to time triggered actions. Time triggered actions cannot be added to active workflows. If you still want to add, so then deactivate the existing workflow rule and then add an action. The time trigger cannot be added if there already exists a scheduled time triggered action. The action in a workflow rule can also trigger the execution of other workflow rules. So, here we end this video. I feel I have covered most of the workflow rule information in this video. Thank you guys for all your love, support, and comments. See you soon in the next informative video related to Salesforce. Thank you. Bye bye.